All right, well, hey, welcome everybody to our fun webinar for the day. Who is Defacto QA? My name is David Clark. I'm the CTO for TerraLogic and former Chief Architect of Solution Development at Microsoft. With me, I have a couple of fun guests. So we have Jesse Resch, who is a seasoned operations and product leader for over 12 years. Lots of experience in scaling or transforming organizations across different industries.
Webomates has been in existence since 2015. One of the things we're really proud of is the fact that we have 9 granted patents on our AI testing technologies. We are working with the US Air Force.
What do you think, Jesse, as it relates to what's important? What do you think is important, and what should we care about with respect to software testing?
Yeah, and David, I think to speak into the to speak a human perspective into the robot narrative, I think I'm going to answer this with who cares and why. I think a lot of what we saw from Chat-GPT is like, well, it's important for these reasons or because these things need done. But to your point earlier, the when everyone's responsible, nobody is responsible. And how am I getting a quality product that works, that customers love, so they adopt and use it and ultimately pay for it?
Yep.
And then finally, again, if you're looking at that, thinking about those internal stakeholders, depending on what kind of tools you're building.
Yeah, well, if you think in the DevOps mindset thought process, right, you want to shift left. I mean, you can't shift left if you don't discover what to shift. And one of the things that I think quality software testing specifically impacts is, from a quality perspective, is that people don't really realize is that later down the line, bad software reveals itself in loss of service or customer satisfaction problems or INSAT.
Even the time you do invest in testing, is it even well spent?
And so the question mark for us really is, all right, do I hire a team and just leverage that? No.
And I think this is, where I came into a conference earlier this year, hosted by the TerraLogic team, and I'll share a little bit about my story working on this problem. So my role was head of product and strategy at a fast-growing financial services firm with a fintech element that was serving our team. And I had the opportunity to work with the Webomates team, connect with them through a conference that TerraLogic was hosting.
So how do you make success when you have to have 4 skill sets and a budget that's less than 1 person? And so that's really where AI testing comes in. And that's what Webomates does. It's a pretty powerful statement. So, right, because of the AI platform, basically, it reads user stories or pre-existing test cases, and then from that interprets, and also then can do direct interpretation off of a public site. So for example, it can basically do the follow the link thought process. So between those two things, right, you can it creates a test strategy, and then it also can generate the test cases directly with both positive and negative. So, not just happy path, but you can also have negative path testing. But ultimately, this all comes back to the number one problem with test automation, because you know what? If I have enough people, I can solve this problem and I can build thousands of test cases and they all work once. And then, and then after that, it's like, crap, we made a change. This bug had this change. Now I have to make this other change. And oh, now my test doesn't work. So I have to go update my test cases. Webomates has the ability to automatically heal, and that healing process then allows you to execute in a way that it goes well beyond what you're used to. And statistically speaking, so with that thought process in mind, let's talk a little bit about that superpower. So really, when it comes down to it, right, the primary issue of automation in testing is really maintenance. Maintaining your test platform over time actually costs you more than building it. There's a lot of different test automation platforms, and most of them, the way they work is they'll have recorders. You can use the recorder. They'll have a scale platform where if you have 500 test cases that are automated to run and such, it may take you 3 FTEs just to keep the maintenance of those going over the course of time.
Yeah, and actually that's the thing I was reflecting on as you're speaking, David, is Webomates made the part so easy that it was almost like I didn't have to pay attention to it. And I would say some of the things that were provided in the test case set is we had cases that were mindful of different user roles. So admin, kind of a few different role and permission sets that we had to be mindful of. In that particular field services app, we had a lot of things we had to, like visibility wise, like certain roles and permissions saw certain things, and others didn't.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. And then if you look at them, you can actually, they're human readable test cases, right? So not only is it automated, it's actually human readable. So you can go, oh, wait, that's not what that meant. So if your user story says, as a field service engineer, I need to be able to log in and see my first job in priority order, it actually interpretates that.